Welcome back to the gun dungeon. Got another oldie here for you. This is a 3rd gen Smith & Wesson 3913. Now, I used to know what all those number designations meant, but a lot of them escaped me today. I know the 39 means that it's single stack. I forget what the 1 is, maybe the action, and the 3 at the end means an alloy frame as opposed to a 5906, which you used to see a lot of because there used to be a lot of police trade-ins of. The 59 was a double stack. I forget what the O was. The 3rd digit's escaping me right now. And the 6 meant that it was a stainless steel frame. So that was, you know how Smith & Wesson is. But anyways, this is the single stack 8-round compact model of the 3rd gen Smith & Wessons. Now these guns, they're getting more and more expensive these days. I've looked on Gun Broker and I've seen them anywhere from $550, $600 all the way up to $850 priced on there, whether they actually sell at that. But back in the day, these things were excellent carry options. Now, does that mean that it's not still an excellent carry option? No, it doesn't. It's still a good carry option, especially if you're wanting something that is a metal frame, single stack firearm. These are really good options. And this has the old the double action, single action style, which used to be popular a good bit ago. This is ambidextrous. You have the levers on both sides. And once it's cocked, you can use that as a decocker. And now this is actually a safety. Oh, and it was made in the days whenever the magazine safety used to be a big thing. I'm glad it's not anymore because I hate it. But anyways, you can see it's mag's in and the safety is on, so there's nothing. You have to flip it forward, and now your first shot is double action. After that, every shot is going to be single action. So we'll talk about that trigger just a little bit here. These things actually have really good double action triggers. They're very, very smooth. Not a lot of, stacking as it goes. Feels really, really good for a double action trigger. I can shoot it pretty good on double action. Now check this out. Here's your reset. That's it. Very little movement back forward and a fantastic single action trigger. So that is one of the big things that sell me on the 3913 3rd gen Smiths in general, is they have excellent triggers in both double action and single action. As I said, this is an alloy frame. I don't know exactly what type of material that they used. Probably some type of scandium like they do on their revolvers, but don't quote me on that. I'm not for sure. I'm just speaking out of my ass here. But anyways, I have 2 mags for it. This came in the box. One is more of a flush fit. One has the little finger extension here. When they are installed, I can't really tell much of a difference because I can get my finger on that mag base a little bit. And this one feels just a touch more. But maybe you might prefer that over the flat base. This seems to carry a little bit better inside the waistband, and I did carry this thing for a little bit when I first got it. I don't know, about 6 or 7 months or so, just because I like the nostalgia of it. But I really like these old 3rd gens, and man, they shoot good too. That's another good thing about them, is they shoot really well. Take them down like a 1911 kinda. You pull this pin completely out, so you do have to take this out of the gun. And you line up your slide, typical style of disassembly for 1911 style disassembly with your cross bolt there. It's got good serrations on the front of the frame here. Feels very, very good. It's got serrations on the front of the trigger guard too, because this thing's a look back in history, guys. That was a popular way to shoot, was with your off finger wrapped around the front of the trigger guard. That's why a lot of them still have squared trigger guards to this day, but it's not a common practice anymore. I don't do it. I know Nothing Fancy's a big fan of it. He does that, so he'd love that serration on the front of the trigger guard there. Grips, just standard hard plastic. Really not a lot of traction there on those. And when you take these grips off, the rest of this frame is completely exposed. So just know that the grips are kind of part of, there's not a full frame underneath here. It's pretty wide open. And this thing actually came in a Ladysmith version that had a diagonal cut dust cover out front here and had the Confederate gray grips on them. I like the color of those Confederate gray grips. I'd like to have a set to put on here, but it wouldn't be authentic to this particular model. The model I'm talking about actually is designated Ladysmith 3913. But yeah, this thing shoots really, really well. Like I said, I've never had any malfunctions with this thing. I don't think you're going to find very many people out there that are going to claim that third gen Smith & Wessons aren't reliable, that they don't function very, very well. As I said earlier, the police used them for a long time. That's why I used to see the 5906s as police trade-ins all the time. You could get them pretty cheap, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting one and hanging on to it. I got a couple of them. I just always turn them loose for some reason. But I should have hung on to them, because even those are going up in price now. You used to be able to get them for under $300. But like I said, police forces used them all over the country. They're known for reliability. They shoot really well, and I enjoy it. So let's just, oh, real quick, just for comparison's sake. Now this is hot, so let me make it not hot. I wanted to show you here, because I was looking at this earlier. It's strange how times have changed, because this is my P365 XL. I carry this quite a bit because it's very comfortable and very compact for what you're getting out of it. But look at there. Look how similar the size is for this platform versus the 3913. I mean, you're talking very, very, very similar. And here's the wild part. They're even similar as far as your thicknesses go. Maybe the 3913 is even a little bit thicker, but let's look at the grips here. Look at your grip thickness here. Very, very similar. Maybe even, I don't know. You let me know what you think. But very, very similar nonetheless. And this one, 8 rounds. This one, 12 rounds in the mag. So, like I said, times do change. But I'm gonna put this up because this is that's not what this video is about. It's about this one. We'll put this up and we're gonna shoot that 3913 a little bit. Y'all be sure to go over and check out Vetter Holsters. They're a big sponsor of the channel, help me out quite a bit. So y'all get over there and help them out as well. Here's one of their outside the waistband models. Awesome design. They have about any design you can think of. They're also one of the few companies that I've seen making holsters like this with the claw attachment inside the waistband model that fits the Glock 29 and the 10mm versions of the XDMs. So if you have a gun, they probably make a holster for it. Check out Vetter Holsters. And while we're at it, I gotta mention Target Sports. They just became a sponsor of the channel. If you shoot very much throughout the year, their Ammo Plus membership is well worth it. It'll pay for itself in the year's time if you shoot very much at all. So be sure to go check out Target Sports. Their link is below. So one thing you may or may not like about this thing that I think I need to point out, because it definitely stands out to me, is this grip angle on these seem to be really, really straight up. You'll see a lot of the 5906s, some of the variants had the hump in the rear. This one doesn't, it's straight up and down. Very, very 1911-ish, maybe even more straight up and down than a 1911. So that might be something that you may or may not like, depending on if you're a Glock guy or not. I tend to shoot a lot of Glocks, so it feels a little awkward to me, but either way, it shoots good, like I said. Let's shoot first shot double action here. Shoots well, I like it. Let's run another mag. Try for some of them smaller targets. Tried to hit that one on the move. I didn't get it. But like I said, this thing shoots really well for what it is. Very controllable. The trigger makes it shootable in itself. Just having that really good single action trigger. If you've never shot one, you should at least go try one out. I don't know if you'll find one at a range that even rents them out anymore, but if you know anybody's got one, at least try it out. All right, guys, you know what time it is. We're going up there. Hey, I can actually see it in my camera if I can move my finger to it. There it is. I can see it in my camera with that white snow background there. Normally I'm looking all over the place for it. I can't never see it on my camera. 12-inch plate, 80 yards. Three for 5. It'll do it if you can. So there you have it, guys, the 3913. that's really about all I got to say about it. If you have any questions, you can post them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. Be sure to go check out my sponsors. It's down in the description as well. If you like today's video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay tuned.